qualifying is over. Let's go racing. Up front, it will be AJ Godsey and Kyle Holden. Zach Henson and Matt Johnston on the second row. Harley Barletta and Jared Heasley on the third row. Jeff Hinkle and Scotty Too Hottie are on the fourth row. Jason Rome, Kevin Reed are 9th and 10th. Then Richie West is 11th. Mike Smith is 12th. 13th is Rick Sargent. 14th is Larry Ashby. 15th is Topher Baltimore. And Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel starts back in 16th. Nicole has been off a couple of weeks. We have missed her. Glad to see her back out on the track. And I'm going to try and zoom in here just a little bit. You can see the back of Mike Smith's car there. He's got a layered carbon fiber look to it. Very, very cool. He was showing off some pictures of it, and I am sure that the BRR Motorsports page will have more pictures of more of these playoff cars as the playoffs continue. Just waiting for the last few drivers to get gridded up here. It looks like AJ Godsey is not gridded yet. He is one we are waiting on. And while we are waiting on them to grid, please hit that share button so these guys, sponsors, and everybody can get a little bit of love here tonight. And looks like AJ Godsey is still not gridded. All right, now they're all gridded, and we are rolling down pit road. They're coming off pit road. It will be a single pace lap. The pace laps here are extremely long. It gives them plenty of time to get lined up. And again, just a shout out to tonight's race sponsor, Jared Heasley and Scotty Too Hottie Designs. As I mentioned, you can find Scotty Too Hottie Designs on Facebook. And if you need a car painted by or a car painted for iRacing, any car you need, get with Scotty Too Hottie Designs. That beautiful 32 car there, that was one of his. Let's see, obviously the one he is driving tonight. Where is Scott? That the blue and green car there with the, it's got a chrome effect on it that causes it to change color depending on how you're looking at it and where it is in the sun. As I mentioned, similar to the old Jeff Gordon Chrome Illusion paint schemes. AJ Godsey did not grid. Not sure what's going on, but AJ Godsey is not in the field. I know he had some computer problems Friday night. He's still being shown in Discord, but he is not in the field, and that is not the way he wanted to start his playoffs. That'll give Zach Henson the chance to bump up a row. So Zach Henson will start on the inside of the front row. As they get ready to go green, the pace car is going to drop off here. And hold your breath, ladies and gentlemen, because once they hit turn one, things will get wild. Green flag in the air. Here they go. BRR playoff race number 1 from Pocono. Next time by, I guarantee you they'll be fanned out 3 wide all the way around. Dropping off into turn number 1. Everybody's taking it fairly easy up here. Mid-pack, everybody's staying just 2 wide, not seeing any real overly aggressive moves here, but now they are going to start picking up some speed and picking up the draft down into the tunnel turn. And this is where we're going to see a lot of the problems. If they try and come through the tunnel turn 2 wide, 3 wide, they will end up with cars in the wall. If you get the angle wrong or carry too much speed through there, it can get dicey. Turn 3 is where you make up all of your time. And let's hop in the car. Just getting an update from Eric Stoy. Good evening, Aaron Mason. Eric Stoy just told us that AJ got kicked off, but he is now back on. A connection issue. He is going to start one lap down now, but he is getting out on the track. He just left the pits as they come through turn one, so he will be a lap down. If this stays green and he can keep it out of trouble, he will get back to the lead lap on the competition caution, but that is not the way he wanted his playoffs to start. Jared Heasley, like I said, race sponsor, one of his favorite tracks. He does not live very far from Pocono, and it seems like he has been to the race once or twice. And good evening to Greg. Greg, why aren't you out there? You're in the playoffs. Oh, no, wait, sorry. I was looking at last night's playoffs. And as they come single file through here, let's ride along in the car with the 32 car here. As he drops off down into turn one, drifts up, trying to get as much speed, carry as much momentum off turn one. There is Scotty Too Hottie right in front of him. Gives the wall a little scrape there. Getting a little squirrely. Gets out of the throttle right by the Pocono sign, getting as low as he can, so he doesn't lose as much momentum and can get back on the gas as quickly as possible. Now he's in the draft right behind Scott. Everybody's single file for the moment. A little bit of a high line turn through turn three. Saw several different lines through turn three last night. I am sure we are going to see more as they come down the front straightaway. Not seeing a lot of fanning out yet. We'll follow Heasley through turn one real quick and see how many different lines we see here. Looks like several different entry points. We'll see who has the advantages. Jeff Hinkle up there, he ran a much higher line than the 22 or the 32 did. Back mid-pack, there is Topher Baltimore, currently running in 13th. He's picked up 2 spots. He finished 13th in the Cup race last week. He finished 6th, I believe, last night in the truck race. So he is definitely, looks like he might, oh, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to say anything. Never mind. Just if you've watched recent weeks, you know what we're talking about. Zach Henson already out to a bit of a lead here. He won the truck race last night, but ran out of fuel. After the checkered flag, he ran out of fuel just around turn 2. He stretched it as far as that tank would go. He didn't even think a couple of laps before the end of the race, he did not think he could make it on fuel. And good evening to everybody in the chat. Aaron, I can't remember if I said good evening, but if you have a favorite driver out there, as always, drop their name in the chat so we can give you and them a shout out. As Harley Barletta now being passed by Kyle Holden. Harley had worked his way up to second. Him and Kyle continue to battle here. And I do believe Harley will have the momentum on the high side, but Kyle had a heck of a run there. A little further back, we've got a 3-car pack of Jeff Hinkle, Scott Snodgrass, and now Kevin Reed. Kevin has picked up 3 spots. He started back in 10th. He's now up to 7th. Jared Heasley, surprisingly, has lost a couple of spots. Another car moving up fairly quickly, Richie West. Richie now up to 9th after starting 11th. Mike Smith is up to 10th after starting 12th. And this pack coming through turn 2, AJ Gonsi is coming out of turn 1 right now. He, without the help of the draft, don't know how much ground he can make up, but at the halfway point, we will see a competition caution. If we do not have one before then, as long as AJ can keep that car clean, he will get the wave around. Harley Barletta in 3rd. We will also see Harley in the Fast and Fun Variety Series later tonight, I do believe. He has been running that in recent weeks. So if you're a Harley Barletta fan, you can watch him twice tonight. And Matt Johnston right behind Harley, staying right on that back bumper, not trying to do anything just yet with him. Harley got a little bit loose coming through the tunnel turn there. Jeff Hinkle now up to 5th after starting in 7th. Looks like the two biggest, so far, the guys that have lost positions, Jared Heasley, Jason Rome, and of course AJ Godsey. Otherwise, most everybody is in the same place they started. However, as the tires start to wear and the fuel load starts to lighten up on the back end, the handling will go away just a little bit. Those guys that are best in that situation, those will be the ones that start making some moves. Jared Heasley did say he was going to take it a little bit easy on the first run. They know at one point or another they will have a caution one way or another. So smart move is to try not to lose too many positions and just keep working his way forward. Jeff Hinkle back to 5th, or back up to 5th now, and starting to open up a bit of a gap. This front group, Zach Henson is maintaining, I should say, about a half a second. Then you've got Kyle Holden, Harley Barletta, and Matt Johnston all right there, nose to tail pretty much. They are just taking it easy for the time being. Nobody's really pushing. But we're also starting to see it get a little slippery. Let's see if Matt gets a little loose there. Just a hair. Yep, he gets a little loose there coming out of the tunnel turn, but he got a run. He was definitely pushing hard through the tunnel turn. Gets to the inside of Barletta going into 3. And Harley just lets him have it. Now, a lot of times you'll see right there a guy passes you the inside. You can let off the gas just a little bit, turn that nose in, and make a crossover move and get back by him. I imagine we'll see that before the night is out. And it looks like we've got a little side-by-side racing back here as well. Kevin Reed, Jared Heasley starting to pick some positions back up. Kevin Reed to the inside, Jared up on the high side, way up on the high side, but he makes it stick. And now he's got some heat in those tires, and he's making it work. A little bit of a surprise to see Larry Ashby back there in the 34 car. He is currently running in 14th, hasn't picked up a lot of positions. Which is ironic because last we heard Larry had actually ran all the way around the world, spun it forward, won this race last night, and then came back in time to actually be here for it. So who knows? Larry is the Chuck Norris of BRR. All right, Zach Henson is back up front. Zach Henson is now getting challenged. The 18 of Kyle Holden pulled right up to the back bumper. Matt Johnston, Harley Barletta, after that pass, lost a little bit of ground there. And now we're seeing a pass for the lead. Kyle Holden down to the inside. Going through turn 2. Kyle's been coming flying up through the field. He drifts up a little bit. Oh, gets a little bit loose. Just loses all grip for a moment. Drifts up, manages to hold on to it, and holds the position. And that is a funny feeling coming through there when you go into a four-wheel drift because you're pushing so hard. You see he just held on to it, but it does get a little exciting. Caution! Caution is out. There will not be a competition caution, but Mike Smith is involved. Let's see what happened. Oh, Mike blinked and came when he reappeared. He reappeared on the nose of Kevin Reed. That brings us under our first caution of the night. Just 11 laps in. This does mean that the competition caution will not happen. We're 12 laps in. They have 4 total sets of tires for 75 laps. A lot of these guys will not need tires. We did see a couple of 2-tire changes last night. And we saw a couple of pit stops that were just fuel and go. There was a lot of discussion during and after the race that the tires really still felt pretty decent. They weren't seeing a lot of tire wear, and I don't think we'll see anybody try a no tire stop here. But later in the race, it's a very distinct possibility that some of these guys might try a 2-tire or no tire stop. If we see that, that'll definitely be a bit interesting and a bit of a surprise. But and this long of a track, the way things go here, trying a different strategy might pay off. Everybody lining back up on the pace car will come out of turn 2. Pit road will be open, so we'll see if the leaders come to pit road. We'll see if one of these guys maybe back here in the back decides to stay out if the leaders come, trying to get some track position. And with the restart, as always, we will be watching that car back there. That is the 3 car of Jason Rome. And I know Aaron and Eric know what we're talking about when we say pulling a Rome on a restart. We will see if I know Jason's put in extra restart practice in recent weeks just so that doesn't happen anymore, but even the best of us have made that mistake. Jason's just been unlucky to do it more than once. Which reminds me, make sure you continue to watch and check out BRRpoints.com. You can see the entire Cup Series standings. You can see the entire Cup Series point standings. Jason does do a lot of great work with that, and we really appreciate everything he does, keeping that running for us. And it looks like everybody is going to come to pit road. We'll see if AJ comes to pit road. He does not. Pit road will be open for him next time, but Scotty Too Hottie did not. Scotty Too Hottie stayed out. I'm not sure. Okay, it looks like AJ just got waved around. And we'll just throw that information up there. There is the BRRpoints.com website. You can also check us out at htsai.net. We have all the leagues that we broadcast here. All their information is there. We're going to be adding some paint shop information and other stuff as well. In addition to that, tune in tomorrow morning, I would imagine around 10 Eastern. Jared Heasley and I will have a huge announcement. We have actually been talking about it for several days and managed to keep it secret despite some really good guesses. But you will definitely want to tune in. We will be making an announcement live tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. Eastern. All right, everybody but Scott came to pit road. AJ Godsey has gotten back to the lead lap. He is now on pit road. Hopefully he will, and he is back up off pit road. So he is going to maintain the lead lap. AJ Godsey back on the lead lap. However, he is going to be way back in the field. He'll be restarting back in 16th. Scotty Too Hottie not going to pit at all on this stop. Not a lot of change in the positions. We're going to have Scotty up front. Kyle Holden will start second. Zach Henson third. Matt Johnston fourth. Harley Barletta restarts in fifth. Sixth will be Jeff Hinkle. Then wait a minute. Scott, Kyle, Matt, Zach, Jeff Hinkle, then Harley Barletta, Rick Sargent. Topher Baltimore has jumped up to 8th. Good job by Topher. Jared Heasley back to 9th. Richie West is up to 10th. Then you've got Larry Ashby, Jason Rome, Mike Smith, Nicole. That's what she said, Creasel. Kevin Reed, and AJ Godsey. And AJ is still being scored a lap down. I'm going to have to check my notes here in a minute, but I think he might have actually ended up losing 2 laps because of the issue. So he will still need to get one more lap by, but he does not have the competition caution to look forward to now. He does have the advantage of being with the pack. If he can work his way up to the front, get around everybody, get up there cleanly, and then once everybody starts pitting, he might be able to stretch his fuel a little bit longer. There's several different things he could do to get his lap back, and AJ is definitely one that could race his way back to the lead lap. Definitely not the way AJ wanted to start these playoffs. This is the first season BRR has actually done a playoffs. We've done traditional cup points up until this year. So it'll be interesting to see how the playoffs play out. All right, pace car is in. Scotty Too Hottie is going to lead him down. Green flag in the air. Here we go again. Kyle Holden, everybody behind Scott is on fresh tires. Jason Rome gets a clean start. And Scott is about to have a 3-wide problem going off into turn 1. He manages to hold that inside line. Harley Barletta shoots it up the middle. Oh, hold on to her, Harley. That's it. They've got it. They're going to make it through turn 1. Restarting turn 1 is extremely dangerous. I can tell you that myself, Scott Snodgrass, Harley Barletta. Oh! Harley has got a heck of a run on the outside of Scott. Almost got into the back of Matt Johnston there. Harley is coming to the front, and he is coming quickly. The 24 of Zach Henson has lost a couple of positions, but now he is fighting back on the inside. Meanwhile, Kyle Holden has checked out again. And we've got a little bit of battling going on back here as Topher Baltimore is battling to hold on to 10th here. But he's got Jason Rome and Kevin Reed in the rear view mirror there. As I was saying, myself, Harley Barletta, Jared Heasley, Mike Smith, and Scotty Too Hottie were in a race one time in a different league that we went off into turn 1 on lap 1, and somebody, I do believe it was actually Harley, made it 5 wide. That does not end well at all. So I'm surprised to see Harley stick his nose in there, making it 3 wide like he did, as they are getting really dicey coming off turn 2. Scott is losing a lot of ground on those old tires. Scott restarted in first. He is now back to 8th place, and everybody behind him, fresh tires and a full fuel load. But Scott, not being in the playoffs, he has taken any advantage he can, trying anything he can to get some points and to get up there and get a win. Meanwhile, Kyle Holden back up off the front. Matt Johnston in second. Harley Barletta is now in third. Interesting, Harley's driving the Chevy this week. He's been driving the Toyota intermittently, but there he is in a Chevy. Zach Henson to fourth. Jeff Hinkle still back there in fifth, and Jeff is bringing a lot of cars with him as here comes Richie West. Richie had a good run down that second straightaway, right to the back bumper of Hinkle. Hinkle got through turn 2 way better. Going through turn 3, though, he closes back up. Meanwhile, Scott is getting past another time. That is the 20 of Rick Sargent. He is starting to march forward. He started in 13th. He is now up to 7th. In fact, a quick look through the field, Rick is currently the biggest mover. Yep, he has picked up the most positions here. Topher Baltimore, meanwhile, restarted way up there in about 8th or 9th spot. And he has fallen all the way back. He is in the back of the field. Only AJ Godsey behind him in 16th. Topher currently in 15th. Got to wonder. He was one that played some fuel strategy last night and made it work. He might be doing the same here again tonight. There is no telling. He did tell me that he had learned quite a bit, and his goal was just to finish this one and we'll see how that plays out. Meanwhile, up at the front, Harley Barletta and Matt Johnston side by side coming off turn 1. And they have to deal with Zach Henson right there. Zach moves down to the inside of the 93 there. They're going to go off into turn 2, too wide again. Zach clips a little bit of the apron and gets way loose, manages to hold on to it, but he does not make the pass there. And despite the limited banking at this track, that especially in turns 2 and 3, 8 degrees of banking in turn 2, but getting off on that apron at those speeds and your car is a little bit unsettled already, that he did a great job of holding on to that, because we've seen guys hit that the exact same way and end up completely sideways. Back here we've got a battle going on for 8th place as Jared Heasley dives off into turn 1, takes 8th place away from Kevin Reed. Jason Rome now back to 10th. Scott Snodgrass has fallen back to 11th spot after restarting in 1st. And he is off the pit cycle. He will need fuel before everybody else. Have to see if that strategy pays off, as Scott is way down there. He is actually using that apron to help the car turn now that he's on those older tires. Kyle Holden continues to lead. He cannot seem to break away. We've seen Kyle just drive away from the field more than once, but he can't get away from the man behind him. That is Harley Barletta. Matt Johnston in 3rd, Zach Henson in 4th, Jeff Hinkle is in 5th, and here comes Richie West. Richie West is another one that's been on the move. He started in 11th. He is up to 6th. He's got Rick Sargent right behind him. Got to wonder if those two work together to get up that far, because they started side by side earlier. Richie started in 11th, or they started nose to tail, excuse me. Richie started 11th. Rick started 13th. Both of them have picked up several spots. Maybe just following each other through the track. Richie trying to catch back up to the back bumper of Jeff Hinkle. Lap time still pretty close to their best laps. They're running right in the 55 to 56 second range. And let's see, AJ Godsey is working his way through the pack. He has not gotten back to the lead lap yet, obviously. He's passed a couple of cars after starting at the tail end of the field, but not... he needs a caution extremely badly to be able to get up here and compete. All right, as they run, let's take a look through the field, update you where your favorite drivers are. Topher Baltimore said he did not get tires. He went on a gas-only strategy. Very interesting. We'll see if it pays off later in the run. Once they go to pit road again, he'll have an extra set of tires. If we get another caution, that might be the smartest play of anybody out there. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. All right. Up front, we have Kyle Holden. Harley Barletta is currently in 2nd. Zach Henson running in 3rd. Matt Johnston now in 4th. Jeff Hinkle currently running 5th. Richie West up to 6th place now. And right back to the back bumper of Jeff Hinkle. Jared Heasley has dropped to 7th place. Rick Sargent is up in 8th. Kevin Reed is currently 9th. Jason Rome back to 10th. Mike Smith, after the incident that brought out the first caution, currently running in 11th. Scotty Too Hottie back to 12th. Larry Ashby is in 13th. Nicole, that's what she said. Creasel is in 14th. Topher Baltimore is 15th. AJ Godsey is back in 16th after the early incident. A third of the way through this race, and things are starting to settle in. We will not see a competition caution here in about 10 laps. So things could play out a bit differently now that if they stay green the whole race, things could, a lot of different strategies could play out. Obviously, Topher Baltimore took fuel but no tires. Scotty Too Hottie did not pit at all. So seeing a couple of different strategies out there, we'll have to wait and see if anybody took 2 tires. I'd be really surprised if anybody took 2 tires, but we'll see. It was a little bit early in the race to be trying something like 2 tires and risk losing a lot of position. Meanwhile, the battle at the front, the 3 lead cars, they have stayed pretty close to each other. Just a half a second between Kyle Holden, Harley Barletta, and Zach Henson. Matt Johnston has lost this lead pack. He's lost the draft, and he is falling back just a little bit. Jeff Hinkle, though, closing up on him quickly, as is Richie West. And Rick Sargent in 7th. As we mentioned, he's picked up a lot of positions already. He's picked up 6 positions since the start of this race, but he has got Heasley to the back bumper now. Kevin Reed currently running in 9th. He just barely got into the playoffs, and he is going to make the most of it here. Kevin Reed actually finished BRR Season 1 in 3rd place, only because I had to miss a race. Really surprised to see these 3 still stacked up. I mean, if you're going to see 3 cars that stay together for most of the run, it'll be these 3. And look, Zach Henson looked like he took a higher entry. He might be trying to carry some momentum off and get around Harley Barletta here. No, he loses the run. And a quick check on AJ Godsey. He has gotten around Scotty Too Hottie. Scott currently running in 12th place. So next in AJ, Scott's coming to pit road now. Looks like he ran the extent of his fuel. He should be able to get on and off pit road without losing a lap. Although it'll be close as far back as he was. But fresh tires, he'll come back out and have an advantage over everybody else. Trying to do a little math here. If as the 18 catches a little bit of the wall down the short chute. And it does look like Scott will end up losing a lap, as he is just now coming off pit road and the leaders just went by. However, unless AJ gets around him, if he can stay in front of AJ, he'll be in the lucky dog position if the caution comes out. And we'll see if Scott can fight his way back the old-fashioned way, get back to the lead lap. He is actually not that far behind. He's right there in front of Jeff Hinkle. Jeff is currently in 5th, and Scott is actually pulling away very quickly and catching up to Matt Johnston. The leader's last lap was a 56.74. we'll wait and see. We'll give Scott a couple laps to get around here, and we'll see how fast he is running laps. Scotty Too Hotty gets around fourth place Matt Johnston. Kyle Holden loses the lead to Harley Barletta. Harley Barletta now jumping out to the lead. We'll see if he can run away. Meanwhile, Zach Henson and Kyle Holden still staying side by side. It looks like Kyle was struggling just a little bit there through the middle of two, having to run that high line, giving Zach plenty of room though. Now, we did say they can run anywhere from 24 to, we heard a couple of guys say 30 laps. I don't think that's going to be possible. Most people said 24 to 26, maybe 27 laps. And at 18 laps into this run, they should be stopping here, and we should start seeing some green flag stops in about another 6 laps. And that'll be right at the halfway point. Harley Barletta can't break away. Scotty Too Hotty is charging through to get his lap back. He caught the leaders, and now he is charging through. Last time by Harley Barletta, at the line, Harley Barletta runs a 57.20. Scott ran a 56.19, a full second a lap faster. Scott will be unlapping himself here momentarily. That will, once he gets past Harley Barletta, that'll put AJ Godsey now back in the lucky dog position as Scott jumps out front. He has successfully unlapped himself the old-fashioned way, and now he will start to pull away. At a second a lap, he'll pull away really quickly. AJ Godsey is pitted. AJ Godsey is the first green flag stop by the top guys. Obviously, Scotty Too Hotty off sequence here. And AJ has already left pit road. He is back out. So he was the first one in this group that pitted under caution. Of course, I think he might have pitted for fuel only. So Harley Barletta, Zach Henson, Kyle Holden will be the 3 cars to watch on the pit strategy here. Then Matt Johnston back there in fourth is AJ is now coming by him as well. AJ trying to get one of his laps back the old-fashioned way as well. Matt Johnston back there in fourth now has Jeff Hinkle to the back bumper. Jeff had been slowly running Matt down, and he's finally got there. You got to wonder when a guy like Topher Baltimore is going to hit pit road. He has been out there with no tires for a while. He could pit before the leaders, short pit just a little bit, and play that strategy out, and it might actually help him, but I do know he was stretching fuel like crazy last night. We'll see as Harley Barletta's now got a challenge for the lead. Zach Henson to the high side. Kyle Holden literally pushing him through the short chute. Couple of Toyota drivers overpower the Chevy. That just means it takes 2 Toyotas to overpower a Chevy. David Garman's not here, so we won't make any Ford jokes. It's not as fun when he's not on track. Matt Johnston now battling with Jeff Hinkle. Jeff had gotten right up beside him but can't complete the pass before they go off into turn one. Matt Johnston has a preferred line. And here comes AJ. Right in the middle of this battle for the lead on fresh tires. He is going to come around these guys really quickly. AJ drops down to the inside, going off into turn three. And we'll get to see if AJ can use a little pit strategy and possibly get himself back to the lead lap if we do not have another caution. Jared Heasley has come to pit road. He is the first car in the top 10 to come to pit road. So I would imagine in the next lap we will start to see more of the leaders on pit road. And if you pit on the lead lap, you will actually not lose a lap here. As the leaders come around Nicole Creasel, she is having a little trouble with the handling on the car tonight. New paint scheme, though. Topher Baltimore has now ducked down pit road. And the leaders stay out again. So we've got a few drivers short pitting here trying to get an advantage. This time by, we are halfway. Don't forget, immediately following this race, we will be jumping over the Fast and Fun Variety Series. Tonight, they are racing the Legends cars at Southern National. That ought to be interesting. And looks like Kyle is going for the position. He's going to try and go get a lap. Can't quite get around Zach here. Jason Rome and Larry Ashby have both come to pit road. Now, everybody that is already pit needs this thing to stay green long enough for the leaders to have to pit as we come to lap 40. And we'll take a look once again. These guys have been out there 25 laps. We heard most people say 24 to 26, although a few drivers said they can make 30. I really don't think that happened, but you never know. They might have a extra long fuel hose that would hold an extra gallon of fuel. All right, Zach Henson comes out of turn 3. Will we see him come to pit road this time? No, none of the 3 leaders are coming to pit road yet. Matt Johnston, none of the leaders have come to pit road yet. Jared Heasley is now showing as the last car on the lead lap in 11th. We'll see as scoring updates. I can't imagine these 3 lead cars going too much longer without stopping, but 11 cars currently on the lead lap. And from here, they will have to pit at least one more time. So pit strategy will be extremely important, as it looks like the 24 is waving. He is coming to pit road. Harley Barletta is coming to pit road. Kyle Holden stays out. Kyle Holden pitted last, the same time as everybody else. Will he be able to stretch it another lap? Richie West looks like he is staying out as well. Larry Ashby, to his inside, has already been to pit road. Zach Henson, Harley Barletta, Matt Johnson, Jeff Hinkle, Rick Sargent all hit pit road. Kevin Reed is staying out. Michael Smith staying out. I have been known to talk to my cars during races, so, you know, yeah. All right, the leader, Kyle Holden, hits pit road. Richie West now will assume the lead unless he comes to pit road. Kevin Reed, Mike Smith, a lot of cars behind. Richie is coming to pit road. Kevin Reed coming through turn 3 does not look like he is setting up for a pit road entry. We'll see as he comes off. Yes, he is. Mike Smith stays out. Let me look back here and see if Mike had already pitted. I don't think he had, but not sure how Mike's doing it, but he is still out there and assumes the lead. Take a quick look at the pit strategy and see when he last pitted. No, he is not pit yet. He's the only car in the lead group that is not pitted. Topher Baltimore has been to pit road. He now has fresh tires. He went that whole first run, even past the caution. He went in on the caution for fuel only, as it looks like Mike might still be having some connection issues there. And Mike Smith finally drops down onto pit road. That will give the lead back to Zach Henson. Now he has a 1.2 second lead over second place Harley Barletta. Third place Kyle Holden. Now 4.5 seconds back. Jared Heasley now up to fourth place. He is 5.7 seconds back from the leader. Matt Johnston has dropped back to sixth place, but he is right on Heasley's bumper, and he has the fresher tires. I don't think this will be much of a fight here. Matt should be able to easily get past him. Jeff Hinkle is in sixth as Matt gets right to the back bumper of the 32. Both of them get a little squirrely there through turn 2, but manage to hang on to it. Matt Johnston to the inside in turn 3. Jeff Hinkle now up to 6th. Scotty Too Hotty is in 7th, but he is off cycle with the leaders. He did do that a little bit, Aaron. Richie West now to 8th. 9th is Rick Sargent. 10th is Jason Rome. Larry Ashby in 11th. Kevin Reed has dropped all the way back to 12th. Mike Smith is now in 13th after leading a couple of laps there. Topher Baltimore is back in 14th, and AJ Gotze is in 15th. Looks like just 14 cars on the lead lap. Topher Baltimore, though, not that far ahead of the leaders. Zach Henson continues to lead and open up a bit of a lead. Almost 2 seconds now over Harley Barletta. Good evening, David Garman. Well, Garman's watching. We can make Ford jokes now. Kevin Reed currently running in about 12th. His pit strategy a little off of what the leaders are doing. We'll see if he can make it up. They did not have a competition caution. They had the first caution around lap 11. Therefore, no competition caution, and these guys have been green ever since. And a couple different strategies that did not, or at least so far, have not played out, with Topher Baltimore taking no tires, just fuel, and Scotty Too Hottie not pitting at all. AJ Godsey, as those who were watching in the beginning, AJ Godsey had a connection difficulty on the start and lost connection. He started 2 laps down. He got 1 lap back under caution. Has not been able to recover the other one yet. And Bill Percy, no. Well, somebody needs to slow Zach Henson down. Zach Henson has now lapped Topher Baltimore, so only 3 cars a lap down. Topher Baltimore, AJ Godsey, and Nicole Kriesel. Topher Baltimore currently in the lucky dog position, but it's going to be hard to get a caution right now with the gaps between these cars. Not seeing a lot of action on track right now. After that pit stop, everybody was starting to spread out a bit after the last, or coming to the last pit stop. Now they have really started to spread out. And it may not look like much on that straightaway, but from Larry Ashby there back to Jason Rome directly behind him, almost a second and a half. Kevin Reed currently in 12th. Michael Smith is currently 13th. Topher Baltimore 14th. AJ Godsey comes to pit road. Looks like he might have had a problem. He was smoking him coming to pit road. Remember, AJ has been off cycle on the pits. And doing a quick, I know why AJ just pitted. As of right now, there are 27 laps to go. Zach Henson on that last stop, Harley Barletta and Kyle Holden, they all made it. Let's double check that, but I believe 27 or 20, Holden made it 28 laps on a tank of fuel. AJ Godsey just did his final pit stop. So now we are within the window for everybody to pit, and we'll see if anybody tries anything different here. Did talk to Topher before the race, and he did say, you know what, I am just wanting to finish this race. Although given the last couple of weeks, he's started having a little bit better luck. We'll see if he can get it done here tonight, and maybe, just maybe, his strategy will end up paying off at some point. And while we have a minute and these guys are turning laps, we'll remind you, tune in tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern for the Outlaws. Their dirt triple header is tomorrow night. They will have 305s at 7:30, followed by the 358s, followed by the Enduro. And if you have not seen an Outlaw Enduro, well, you don't know what you're missing. You can watch all the past Enduros, all the past BRR races, and everything else here on our YouTube channel, and you can find all the links to everything, our Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, everything else at htsai.net, including the podcast, which we put out every Monday, and go over the iRacing schedule for the week. Tuesday night, we will be back with XCal at 7:20 Eastern. The Premier Street Stocks, I do believe this week is Concord, although I'll have to double check that one. But I do believe XCal is at Concord this week, and that'll be a fun race. Wednesday night, we will be back with the Outlaws at 7:40 Eastern. with their Xfinity series, followed by their Pro Late models. And a few of the names you see here in the field also appear in the Outlaw series, like David Garman. Actually, David Garman has been a pretty dominant force in the Outlaw Pro Late models here as of late. 25 laps to go. The leaders all pitted just a few laps ago, but they are within their fuel window right now. And David's going to miss the race this week. That's disappointing. But they do put on a heck of a show, as he said. Scotty Too Hotty is the first one to pit road. Remember, he is off cycle with the leaders. He stayed out under the early caution as we've got a car bouncing off the wall back there. Looked like Nicole Creasel smacked the wall coming off of turn 2. Just managed to keep it up high. Did not involve the leaders. I'd imagine we're going to see her on pit road now. Harley Barletta has closed back down. There was 4.5 seconds from him to Zach Henson just a few laps ago. He is now down to 1.8 seconds. Zach has got to be wondering, looking in the mirror, if Harley can get up in here and beat him. He's going to have an extremely good pit stop, and hope Harley does not. The gap back to Kyle Holden continues to be about 4.5 seconds. Matt Johnston is another 1.8 seconds behind that. Jeff Hinkle, another 2.8 seconds behind Matt Johnston. And Heasley is another 2.8 seconds from there. Checking on our latecomers into the playoffs, Richie West, who started in 11th, he is up to 7th. Remember, the first elimination will be 3 cars. 3 drivers will be eliminated from the playoffs in a couple of weeks. Right now, as they run, those 3 drivers would be Larry... Wait a minute. As they run, it would be AJ, Aiden, and I do believe Kevin Reed, all right there on the elimination bubble. AJ having the rough start with his computer connection difficulties. Kevin Reed just not having the race he wanted here tonight. And Aiden, the kid Trevette, he is out due to his computer kind of crashing on him. So hopefully he will make it back. He's expected to try and get a new graphics card tomorrow, and hopefully he will be back with us next week. Hopefully he can still get up here and compete. The gap between the leader and Harley Barletta still 1.8 seconds, 20 laps to go. Looks like Larry Ashby might actually be suddenly picked up a connectivity issue. Weird, considering Larry invented the internet and made it all work. I think the internet actually runs through Larry. "20 laps to go. At what point do the leaders stop?" Zach Henson has a bit of a lead here, but Harley Barletta is closing. They would almost have to pit at the same time so that they don't separate, and they can continue to Harley can continue to close up. But he is going to have to watch Henson very, very closely, and needs a little bit of luck on his side on pit road to make up that gap. Looking at their lap times, though, Barletta, 4 out of the last 5 laps, has been the faster. Sometimes by tenths of a second, sometimes by hundredths of a second, but he has been faster. Richie West has come to pit road. He is the first in the top 10 to hit pit road. And at 19 laps to go, it looks like some of these guys are splitting the difference between, or splitting the distance, between pit stops. Watching Kyle Holden, he actually picked up a little bit of time on Harley Barletta that time. No, it looked like he did, but apparently he is not. He is losing a couple of tenths a second to Harley. It looked like he had actually picked up speed according to the scoring, but apparently not. Meanwhile, Harley Barletta has lost a little bit of ground to Zach Henson now. Matt Johnston is staying pretty stable on his time. Jason Rome is now on pit road. Jason Rome is not in the playoffs. He is just racing for a win here. And Zach Henson and Harley Barletta come to pit road. The leaders are on pit road. Kyle Holden is going to stay out. Matt Johnston on pit road. Jeff Hinkle's on pit road. Heasley has already pitted. He is going to pit again. Heasley comes to pit road. And we just had a very special person drop into the chat. That would be my daughter, Kate, who graduated high school today. Congratulations to my favorite redhead. Kyle Holden continues to run out there. He was not gaining any ground on those two cars. He might be hoping he can get around, get these guys a lap down, but it is very hard to lap somebody at Pocono if they're just pitting. The laps are long enough. You can duck down pit road, get your pit stop in, and get back out before the leaders get to you if you're quick. And as of right now, Harley Barletta is showing on the lead lap, as is Zach Henson. They're coming out of turn 2. The leader, Kyle Holden, is in turn 1. Rick Sargent ducks down for his final pit stop. He gives up second position to drop for his tires. Kyle Holden continuing to lead. He is right to the back bumper of Heasley. Heasley currently running in 9th place. Zach Henson has fought his way back up on those fresh tires. We've seen a couple guys do it throughout the night. He is now back up into 2nd. Harley Barletta is in 4th. Larry Ashby right there in 3rd place. I'm proud of you, Noodle. Kyle Holden continues to lead. Has not been to pit road. He has got 15 laps to go, and he has a 32-second lead over 2nd place Zach Henson right now. He cannot go the distance on fuel, though. And he is losing a lot of time as Larry Ashby, Kevin Reed, and Mike Smith have all come in for their final pit stops. Kyle Holden comes out of 3. He is looking like he is coming to pit road. He is. He is on pit road. Zach Henson is coming out of turn number 1 down the second straight through the tunnel turn. We'll see if Kyle, I don't think Kyle can get back off pit road in the lead, but we'll see. He might have a little bit of an advantage. About 5 lap fresher tires here. Harley Barletta now up to second and closing. Kyle Holden still on pit road as the leaders come past. Still getting tires on. Zach Henson now into the lead. Harley Barletta currently in second. And Harley did not gain an advantage on that last pit stop. He is still right at 2 seconds behind Zach Henson. Zach may be running away with this one. Kyle Holden now off pit road, coming down the short chute. Right behind him, AJ Godsey, still a lap down. Has not been able to recover. Topher Baltimore is out there, currently running in 15th, but he is still in one piece. And that was his only goal for tonight, is to make it. To try and end the streak of bad luck. Ah, crap, I said it. So if anything happens to Topher from here on out, that one's on me. I'm beginning to think you are correct, Aaron. It's looking like Zach is going to be tough to beat. Harley Barletta has gained about 1/10 of a second on him right now. But at 1.9 seconds with 13 laps to go, he's going to have to gain more than 1/10 of a second a lap here. Kyle Holden, he came in a little bit later. He is now 9.8 seconds behind Harley Barletta, 11.7 seconds behind our leader. I believe he is completely out of contention unless there is just something catastrophic to have happen here. Have fun, Red. Zach Henson looking to sweep the weekend. He won in the trucks last night on a fuel strategy that he ran out after the checkered flag. He ran out right at turn 3. Had to have a little help getting to victory lane there, but he is good on fuel this time. No worries there. Everybody is good on fuel this time. Everybody has pitted. $11 laps to go for the leader. And don't forget, this is not all the racing tonight. The Fast and Fun Variety Series will be up next, and I promise you, if you need a good laugh, you're definitely going to want to stick around for that. In fact, we might get to poke a little fun at that man right there in the 81, Harley Barletta. He will be in that race as well. Plus the hilarious nicknames that they have just make those races great. So as it stands right now, looking at the playoff situation, they will come out of this race. Zach came into the race in 6th place in the points, so he will pick up several positions. Harley Barletta came into the night second in points. He might actually take the points lead. Jeff Hinkle came into the night third in points. he will probably continue to be there. AJ Godsey came into the night 4th in points. He will drop all the way back to 12th. Aiden Trevette came into the night 5th in points. He will actually take 12th. AJ Godsey will take 11th. Zach Henson will pick up several positions. JJ Parr is not here tonight. It is his birthday. And shout out, happy birthday, JJ Parr. So actually, as it stands, the 3 cars currently on the bubble are AJ Godsey, Aiden Trevette, and JJ Parr. Rick Sargent will pick up several positions. He came into the night 10th in points. He is currently running 8th. But with 3 cars dropping way back, he is definitely going to have a bit of an advantage picking up some spots. Matt Johnston. He came into the night 8th in points. He is currently running in 12th. He'll probably stay right about where he's at. He might drop to 9th. Richie West, who came into the night 9th in points, is currently running 6th. So he'll pick up a few positions. Jared Heasley came into the night 11th in points. He will actually move up several positions as well as he runs in 5th. 8 laps to go. There is enough distance between all these cars that a caution is unlikely here. There is AJ Godsey, his new paint scheme by Eric Stoy. Not going to blame the paint scheme because I know Eric paints a car. It brings luck. It brought me a little bit for the Indy 500 this past weekend. Back up front, Zach Henson is just running away with this thing. Let's take a ride around with Zach one more time. As he comes off into turn 1, you can tell he is off the throttle a lot here as his tires are starting to wear. He's been out there for about 13 laps, and it gets a little bit loose coming up off turn 1. As he closes in on these lap cars, he will get a little bit of assistance from the draft, a little bit that Harley Barletta is not getting. Harley Barletta is now 2.5 seconds back. 7 laps to go, coming to 6 laps to go. Harley needs a miracle to catch up and take the win here. Scotty Too Hottie is back to pit road. He gives up 7th place. Remember, he did not pit on the first caution, and that strategy has not worked out. And that was a lap with our leader, Zach Henson, a 56.09 second lap here. Aaron Mason, to answer your question, and Eric, that's hilarious. I would get with either an Eric Stoy, a Scotty Too Hottie, or a Mike Smith. Let's highlight a couple of paint schemes here real quick. So, Mike Smith, that is a new paint scheme he made for the playoffs. And it's got a look that we can't get a very good angle on here, but it's got a really interesting carbon fiber look. When you're looking at it from the back and from the sides, it actually looks like there's several layers and a little bit of space between them. Our race sponsor tonight, Jared Heasley, had Scotty Too Hottie Designs on the screen for tonight. There is Scotty Too Hottie. That is I think it's called spec mapping, to give it the chrome look that changes color, similar to the old Jeff Gordon Chrome Illusion paint schemes, which were awesome. And AJ Godsey is, of course, running an Eric Stoy paint scheme. And my Indy 500 paint scheme, which I did post pictures of on the Facebook page, was painted by Eric Stoy. Brought it home to a 6th place finish. Actually, yesterday was like one of my best days of racing in months with a 6th place Indy and a 4th place in the trucks. 4 laps to go for Zach Henson. Still maintaining 2.5 second lead over Harley Barletta. Kyle Holden has actually picked up several seconds on the 2 leaders. He is 6.3 seconds back from Harley Barletta and 8.8 seconds back from Zach Henson. He has been faster. He did pit later, so he has 5 laps fresher tires, and it seems to be coming on fairly strong. Let's see if we can compare some lap times here. Kyle Holden has been 0.2 of a second and even half a second faster a lap the last, 5 laps than Harley Barletta. If he continues at half a second a lap with 4 laps to go, not going to be enough time there, but we'll see if he can make up any more ground. His strategy would have worked perfectly if everything had played out just a little bit sooner. Definitely Kyle Holden has come on strong. He led early in the race, dropped back to 3rd. Him, Harley, and Zach, prior to the first green flag stops, were nose to tail all the way around the track. Zach Henson just a little off cycle on pit stops and not having the luck he needed here. Coming down to 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks in the air from Barney the Flagman as Zach Henson goes around 2 more times. Zach Henson coming up on the back bumper of Matt Johnston. Matt currently running in 11th. He is battling Jason Rome for 10th. And this could get a little bit sketchy for our leader, as they both drift a little high coming through. Oh, Matt gets a little bit of Jason Rome. Jason gets spun. Caution is out. See if we can look at that from a different angle here. Looks like he just barely gets that left rear corner, but in that flat turn there, it can send you around rather quickly. We will go to a green-white checkered finish. Now the question is, if you are Zach Henson, do you pit here? Zach may very well need to. Now Zach has to worry about Harley Barletta being right back there with him, as well as Kyle Holden. Let's see if we can get a hold of Zach. Well, let's give him a minute and see if he decides to duck down pit road. If he goes to pit road and anybody else stays out, he will be at the back of the field having to make his way through. Conversely, if somebody else goes to pit road, if a lot of cars go to pit road, that may put him on the back foot as well. Nobody comes to pit road this time. Let's see if we can get a hold of Zach here. Hey, Zach, this is Doug up in the booth. You got me, bud?
Yes, sir.
It was mentioned that you probably needed to be wearing the brown pants today after seeing that right in front of you.
Yeah, unfortunately, it couldn't happen like 600 feet, down the road. The race would have been over already. Well, we'll see what happens on this restart.
Well, Harley, you've been opening up a gap on Harley. You've maintained about 2.5 seconds over him, and this restart could change everything. You think you're gonna be able to get away from him again?
It's really hard to stay away from people in the draft. We'll see how everything goes, though.
Kyle Holden is in third. He has got 5 lap fresher tires than you. Does that give you any cause for concern?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say yeah on that one.
All right, bud. Well, good luck. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you after the race.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, let's see if we can get a hold of Barletta real quick here, if I can find him. Harley Barletta, this is Doug up in the booth. You got me, buddy?
What's up, Doug?
Well, here is your shot. You're going to get a green-white checkered here. Are you going to be able to get around that 24 car?
Probably not. I'm probably going to spin the tires, and I'm going to have Kyle blow by me, and Jeff's probably going to blow by. Everybody's going to blow by me, so probably got nothing, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I've been able to keep up with Zach, or kind of, so hopefully I can have a good restart here, get to his bumper, maybe move him out of the way.
All right. Well, Kyle Holden right behind you has 5-lap fresher tires than both you and Zach. You think he'll be able to get up there and challenge for the lead?
Probably. He's probably going to go right ahead and do that.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
All right. And it looks like they've got the white. Let's see if I can get a hold of Kyle real quick. Kyle Holden, this is Doug in the booth. You got me, buddy?
Hey, Doug, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Are you sitting in the catbird seat? I mean, you're in third, but your tires are 5 laps fresher than everybody else's, and you've been coming on really strong the last few laps. You just needed that little bit of luck, and I think you may have got it.
Hoping so, but hopefully I didn't push too hard there, so I guess we'll see what happens here. But these restarts, I think this restart's going to be pretty crazy here with a lot of blocking, so we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you, buddy.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Kyle Holden sitting in third place for this restart. All right, let's see if I can get a hold of Kevin. Kevin Reed, this is Doug. You got me?
What is up, Doug?
Hey, you're not having the run you wanted to tonight, but you're now back up into 8th. Are you going to be able to get a few positions here?
I'm hoping. We'll see. I've been kind of taking care of my equipment a little bit, so we'll see what happens here. Got
All
2 laps figured out.
All right, man. Well, best of luck. And Garmin said go get him.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. There you go, Garmin. No, Bill. No. I have learned my lesson about interviewing people that have been involved in the incident. All right, they are going to have just 2 laps to settle this one. 3 cars at the front. Zach Henson, Harley Barletta, Kyle Holden, they have been together most of the night. Now Jeff Hinkle is in the mix, and he is the king of saving tires. Green flag is in the air. Everybody is down and away, and here comes Kyle Holden to the inside. 5 laps fresher tires. Everybody keeps it straight on the restart. 11 cars on the lead lap as they go off into turn 1. Kyle Holden now getting up to second place. He's got the run. Harley Barletta trying to fight back on the inside. Kyle Holden manages to hold him off. Jeff Hinkle did not get it. We've got a wreck on the backstretch. Caution is out. Well, that camera angle did not help at all. Let's try that again. All right, looks like Scott was trying to check up from getting into the back of the 93 and just came down across. And we have to do our obligatory Topher check here as they go down the final lap, and it looks like we will not get another green-white checkered. And it looks like Zach Henson is going to bring home the win. Let's go ahead and do an interview. Hey, Zach, this is Doug again. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, Kyle was coming for you quickly, but the 22 got into the wall and brought the caution out and gave you the win.
Oh, really? I was wondering what happened.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if that had kept going, Kyle would have got to me because he had a little bit fresher tires.
Well, a heck of a win here tonight, and I do believe that means you swept the weekend.
Oh, yeah. It's been a lot of fun.
You didn't
doing
have,
this.
yeah, you didn't have to worry about fuel tonight like you did last night, but
No?
definitely some strategy came into play there. I noticed you pit on a different cycle. It looked like Kyle was pitting a little off cycle to get an advantage, but your strategy definitely worked out here.
Yeah, I was just trying to split that last, stretch in half. He stayed out a little bit longer. So,
Well, that's definitely going to put you up close to the top. You came into tonight sixth in points, 1 point between each driver, so that would have put you about 5 points down from the leader, Kyle Holden. You beat him. You beat AJ and Aiden both having problems tonight, so you're going to pick up several positions here.
well, sounds good.
All right,
Trying
man.
to go for this championship.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you more as the playoffs continue.
All right. Thank you, Doug.
All right, that was Zach Henson, the winner tonight. Let's see if we can catch a quick word with Kyle Holden before we switch over here. Kyle, this is Doug up in the booth again. You got me, bud?
Hey, Doug, what's going on?
Man, another lap. All you needed was that thing to stay green, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. I was hoping it was going to stay green, but as soon as I saw that caution, I was like, damn. But we almost did it, so I'm glad I still got second in front of Harley. That's kind of was my goal, so glad Zach got the win. This is his favorite track, and I just want to thank Wrestling Motorsports for coming out today and showing us what they got.
All right, man. Well, congratulations. A great start to the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right, that was your first and second place finisher. Great race by these guys. Obviously, everybody giving the 24 a little bit of love here. All right, stick around. We are going to do a quick switch over and catch up with the Fast and Fun guys as they go green flag racing in Legends cars at Southern National. Don't go anywhere.